Hiring more team can seem like a great way to solve a skill or capacity gap. And that can be true, but sometimes it's not. So let's talk more about this in today's episode of Leverage Your Spark. Welcome to Leverage Your Spark. I'm Brandy Lawson. Hiring. Well, it's a big deal. First, you have to get approval for the position. Then you have to create a great job description. After that, working with HR to get it posted, sorting through applications, deciding who to interview, not to mention scheduling interviews and trying to use that information to find just the right person. It's a lot of work. And then once you do find the right person, there's all the paperwork to make the hire official. Then they need to get onboarded and acclimated. So much time and effort goes into making sure that they feel welcome and valued and that the team is able to use them to fill those capacity and skills gap. The payoff for this can be amazing. But is this really the right fix for handling marketing operations needs? The difficulty that we've talked about before is that the area of marketing operations is new. There aren't a lot of candidates out in the world who come in with the understanding, skill set, and ability to insert their value into an organization that hasn't had this role before. It's not impossible, but it's likely to be more challenging than hiring a web developer, a graphic designer, or a marketing strategist onto your team, just because the role and function are new and quickly evolving. And there's another less obvious challenge. It is the very nature of an internal resource. As soon as a new person comes in, they can be quickly overwhelmed with the backlog of items that are now urgent because of a lack of capacity. You and I both know capacity is a real and ongoing problem, and the reality of an internal resource, because there are usually no hard and fast parameters around each person's role, is that whatever comes in that needs to get done gets taken on by whomever is deemed quote unquote available on the team. And so that actually can prevent qualified resources from being able to prioritize the skills issues that you hired them for, and instead they get sucked into the seemingly bottomless pit of urgent crap that comes in every day. Also, about 6 to 12 months in, every member of your team loses their external perspective in exchange for adopting the culture and perspective of the company, which is ultimately what you want from an internal team member. But it can be detrimental, or just isn't what you always need, to overcome obstacles and make progress on important projects. Hiring more team can be a good answer if you have very specific controls and boundaries in place for them to come in and do the job, and if they are able to pair with an outside consultant or resource to help keep their priorities where the organization wants them, as opposed to just being run over by the urgency of whatever is happening day to day. It's frustrating when things change because updating can be a time suck. There's stuff to learn, plans to make, and then you have to do the work to implement. Let's shortcut your move to Google Analytics 4. Grab the quick and dirty guide to set up Google Analytics 4 and get just what you need to easily move to this new platform. Download the free guide at getffx.com/GA4. The process here to avoid the mistake of hiring internally when you actually need something different is to first get clarity. Clarity is your friend. That is, clearly identify what the real problem is you're trying to solve. And then you can figure out if hiring more team will address that problem, or if that problem really needs the ability to be prioritized above and beyond what's urgent in the organization, needs an outside perspective, or a new and different skill set and expertise than what the organization already possesses. When implementing or helping to establish marketing operations roles, it's beneficial for the organization to pair with some kind of outside resource, so guidance and continuity can be provided to introduce this role and expertise in the organization. The payoff is the ability to solve the problem in the right way. Perhaps it is by hiring more team. Perhaps it is by establishing marketing operations. But by setting up marketing operations in your organization, you might need both an internal and external resource. Or perhaps you're not ready for that step yet, and you really need marketing operations to establish itself and exist outside the forces of the organization to keep that race car on the racetrack performing to its fullest potential. That wraps up our episodes on alternatives to marketing operations. Next up, you'll learn about the problems marketing operations can fix for you. Was this episode helpful? take a moment to rate and review this podcast. Seriously, data from reviews helps me craft these delicious, snackable tidbits of tasty biz info for you. It's easy. Just go to ratethispodcast.com/spark.